going back to the fight that you got coming up right now between you and Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because Dustin, 28 fights in UFC. You've had 5, right? And you've come in and you fought everybody. You came in. Dan Hooker, you have the fight. Dustin goes 25 minutes with him. You go 2.5 minutes with him. Okay, so that's a comparison that we got to make in the market. Then you go with Charles. I think Charles comes after that, right? Charles comes after that. You almost won that one. I mean, it was like this, right? Then you're going with, Justin, and that's fight of the night, fight of the year. Everyone's calling the fight of the year. It was insane of a fight. It's one of those fights that you'll watch regularly because it doesn't get old when you watch that fight. The kicks, the left leg, the story, you're kicking, he's kicking, you're kicking, he's kicking. It's like nobody wants to stop kicking. It was like a 2-minute thing. You just go like, this is insane what these guys are doing.
I couldn't walk for like 6 weeks. My leg hurts.
Oh my God.
Seriously. Don't throw kicks, kids. They hurt. They hurt.
No, I don't know if you've seen this with these kids because Justin's known that he's relentless about throwing these kicks. And it's constant. Yeah, but he's also going back and forth. Anyways, then you have your, the last fight you have with Tony, knockout of the year.
Speaking
on what
of kicks,
happened.
Do you mean the kick heard around the world?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
you
that
seen a
was
slow motion of his face.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's seen that when that took place. And by the way, class act, the way it was spoken in, and now it's coming up to Dustin. So this meet up with Dustin, we've heard and we've seen everything between, what's been said and what he said and what you said. And Ariel is asking you about him, and I'm not thinking about fighting him because at the time he was talking about retirement and, and you said you've never used those words, retirement. I'm not thinking about retirement. He was, so that's why I was thinking about fighting somebody else, and, for him to approach you at a fight and then, Cormier puts the two of you guys down. It was a great conversation. That 12, 14-minute conversation was classic. Because he's trying to steer the pot, and you can tell Dustin was upset, and you're trying to just stay poised and calm, but he's saying what he's saying to you, and, shots are being fired, and then now some people are saying, well, these guys are hugging. They're friends. What is it? Is it act? Do they hate each other? Is this going to be a real fight, or are we going to see like a too friendly of a fight? So today, with, what the market has seen and what's really going on, where are you at with this fight coming up? It's a fight everyone's looking forward to. What are you thinking about is it really a fight that there's going to be animosity to fight, or is it just two professionals getting in the ring to fight?
I think the overarching theme is it's two professionals getting in there to fight. I think you talk about the hug, like that was pre beef. Me and Dustin sat there for an hour before weigh-ins, just kind of talking about everything. He's trying my Groove Life ring on because he was wearing a silicone ring. I'm like, hey, these are the best. I'll send you some. Blah blah blah. We're talking about our kids. We're talking about our wives. We're talking about what we do. And there was a lot of mutual respect. And then right after that fight, that was when the illustrious, hey, if they want me to fight Chandler, I'd rather just go sell hot sauce. So then there was kind of the pushing me aside. So I'm like, okay, wait a second. Okay, I thought we were cool.
What about the ring talk? 20 minutes ago.
Exactly. And I didn't take that into, I didn't really take it too personally, because at that point I knew I probably wasn't going to fight Dustin next, or maybe I was. Who knew at that point in time? And then since then I have done some interviews where I'm like, I've taken this. I had debut of the year in 2021. I had knockout of the year, or the year fight of the year in 2021. I might have knockout of the year in 2022. So I'm continuing to rise and rise and rise. And Dustin was talking about going to 170, talking about fighting Diaz, which we all know what that means. It's not exactly like you're trying to stay on the trajectory to win the title. He did say retirement. So I did take the liberty to maybe it was a little bit disrespectful to say I'm not even thinking about Dustin. And there was one moment where I actually did forget Dustin's name because I think I had pushed his name out of my top 5 of who I would fight because I thought he was moving up to 170 or whatnot. So maybe it was a little bit subconscious on accident, and he took offense to that. So then the video of us at the fight, obviously he wanted to say his piece, which I respect. He doesn't need to tweet me. Even though he has tweeted me, and then I roasted him with an awesome tweet back, which he even said Chandler roasted me.
The diamond at the end? Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about?
No,
or no?
it was actually we don't need to get into
Michael-
it. But it was great. It was great.
was good.
He called me Michael Chandler, so I don't have a chin, right? And I said, speaking of chins, Michael Johnson fights tonight. The last time Dustin Poirier fought Michael Johnson was this date in Hidalgo, Texas, and he knocked out Dustin Poirier. And I used hashtag chin history.
Boom.
And then he came back with, I don't even know what to say. That's awesome. So
Got you.
So there was even that kind of mutual
That's
respect.
cool.
That's the kind of stuff. That's how I would respond as well. If he did that to me, I'd be like,
Michael,
okay, what do I say here?
Let me ask you. Like,
Let him keep going.
Okay,
I'm curious what he's
Well,
going
I'm
to
not
say
going to
here.
pump up, the ego. Or whatever. So there's that. I think there's a mutual respect. I think him and I are very similar in a lot of ways. I think our values are very similar. I think we fight for our families, we fight for our legacy, and we take the sport
You going to
seriously.
do stand up with this guy?
I mean,
Because the strategy
I've been known to do some stand up.
Yeah,
I think I can knock him out. I think he can knock me out. I think we both have the confidence there on the feet. I think my wrestling is better. I think my grappling is better.
I was gonna say
so.
that,
I mean, we'll
100%.
see. I think
I
I always go in there with the game plan of mixing up and keeping them guessing.
Yeah.
I haven't done a great job of that in the UFC thus far, but it's boded me well with the fans and my platform.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.